Wow, what a start it is to my year. This is my first real-time recording, and this is with someone I absolutely love.
Bless you.
A household favorite, a self-made celebrity, and every expat's favorite Emirati neighbor. I am super stumped and excited to be talking to and demystifying the man behind this huge infectious smile, Khalid Al Ameri.
Bless you, Tauhee. Thank you so much for the kind words, for the humbling words. It's an honor to be on the podcast with you and to be part of your first live recording.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't have it any other way. You're the best person to start it off with.
Thank you so much.
Khalid, I have personally on my podcast as well spoken to other influencers, social media influencers, and people on social media, celebrities. But somehow you come across as this one person who is so humble, who is so deeply connected with the following, and it's almost like you have a one-on-one connection with them. You respond, you retweet, and everything. What is your take on Khalid Al Ameri?
Well, I think there's two things. I didn't become whatever you want to call it, have an audience on social media in a day, or it wasn't the first thing for my career. I come from a background of different jobs, and different lines of work. So my first ever job was working on board ships, sweeping, cleaning toilets, chipping and painting. And
that was the sailing job that you were doing in transporting oil. So that's what you were doing on the board?
Yeah, that was my first job on the board.
So you started really from the ground.
Yeah, from the ground up,
and
wow. I was taught the importance of hard work from my parents. I was taught the importance of, appreciating people, being kind and respectful to everyone, and from every background, no matter what, and I think I had the opportunity, given my background, to have two parents from different, backgrounds to teach me about, how love can really connect people who are completely different. And, my dad always taught me, my parents always taught me a lesson that, just always work hard and always respect people, and we don't know what's going to happen, but inshallah, good things will happen from that.
Yeah.
And I think as I started to build my audience, and as I started to start doing things on social media, so just to go back, so what the work taught me was discipline.
Yeah.
So the discipline of hard work and working hard no matter what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think as I started to build an audience, when you start on social media, you don't think it's going to go anywhere. But I understood the importance of just that one person saying something nice about the work that you're doing.
Oh.
And responding to that and engaging with them. And
especially when you start out, that makes so much difference to hear those reviews, someone genuinely appreciating you.
Big time. Just having that one person say that was a good video, or that was a great article, or something like that. It's so important. And I think for me, I always understand that they're the only people who are responsible for us to be able to do this work is the audience.
Yeah. Yes.
If your audience are not engaged with your work, if your audience don't appreciate your work, if you don't take the time to, show the love, show the respect, and show the impact that they're having on your work, then you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
And even if you do, you'll have, no foundation, because you haven't built that connection with the people that are supporting your work.
Yeah. So that actually matter to your work as well.
100%.
Yes.
So from me, a lot of people, I find it funny because people still say to me, I'm sure Khalid's not the one responding. And whenever someone says that,
I would think so too. Yeah.
Whenever someone says that, I take a video as a response, especially on Facebook. And then people be like, I'm sure it's his team. I'm like, what team? I'm literally sitting in front of my computer responding, because that is the most important thing to me. Wow. So the most important thing to me is that engagement with the audience and responding to as many comments. And my whole team know that from the minute they join, that when that video was published, I am sitting there responding to the audience's comments personally, and building that connection, and letting each of these audience members know how important they are to the work that we do every single day. And any company that I work with, any person that I work with that doesn't share that appreciation, it's going to be tough for me to work with them.
Wow.
Because audience comes first. They're the reason that I'm able to do the work that we do. And they're the reason that we're able to keep making the work they do. So I hold myself accountable to them every single day.
Yeah, I think that absolutely differentiates you from other influencers. I mean, like other influencers of your stature, because you have this huge million following, and to know that you are individually replying to each one of them, that is everything.
100%. Always.
Yeah.
Always have to do it. And my team know that. They know that as soon as the video comes up, like
Yeah,
my
and
headphones
it's not
come
like you don't have one or two comments. Oh my God, you have thousands of comments that you
Alhamdulillah.
would, yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
And that is the kind of following that you have cultivated, if anything.
Alhamdulillah. Again, I just don't understand how people can't do that.
Yeah.
For me, it's everything.
Yeah.
And social media, it's about the social aspect of it. It's about connecting and building that audience.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to do it, I love doing it. I love building that connection. But even if you don't want to do it, from a work perspective, it's not like you have there's no other machine that pushes you other than the people.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so critical, even if you don't want to do it. I love it because I love every single person that sort of, helps us, create the work that we create and show appreciation for it.
Yeah, that's more incentive for your followers to keep commenting and keep, reposting your stories, because you are noticing it after all.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So also I think it helps, your videos, they seem so relatable for your following, because you bring in a whole lot of family values. You bring in your wife, you bring in your kids. It's like, watching an extension of your family.
Yeah.
Watching your videos.
Yeah.
So you've spoken, very openly about having issues in your marriage, about your your wife's skin condition, about your son. And you have been so visibly emotional, what we would otherwise not expect from a man, because, we have this weird idea that, men don't cry on screen. And you have come across as so vulnerable. That is something I think a lot of people really connect with. So you have put, you put out all these videos. So what part of your life doesn't make it to the videos?
The day-to-day life. I think it's important to separate that from social media. I think, you say my kids, like Sarama and I, like we make our skits, they're comedy videos. We do our travel videos, we do our food videos, we do our, important messages, but you don't really know what we get up to on a day-to-day perspective. And I think that's important to separate, to understand that, it's more entertainment and information than it is, here's what I'm eating for breakfast, and here's a daily vlog about everything I'm doing.
Yes.
And here's my kid, falling over, and here's my kid playing at sport, and here's Sarama, doing something fun. If whoever wants to do that, that's fine. If that's your thing, that's not my thing. I think I need to have, our family needs to have our personal life. Our family needs to have, our day-to-day lives are ours. And then we take these moments of entertainment to share with our audience, which we feel are relatable, that a lot of people go through in different parts of the world. And when it comes to our kids, I think our kids have been in 2 posts maybe, and that's something very related to kids. And it was only with their permission that we were included. Because they're going to grow up, and it's only when they're old enough to make a decision on whether they want this to be anything as part of their life. They could be 19 and be like, I never want to have social media, but you've already put me on. So we ask their permission. They get excited about it, and they get involved. But I think it's only I can count on my hand the number of times that they've been on our social media. But I think for me, the parts that make it are our sketches, our videos where we inform the audience about something that we're doing that we feel can sort of bring either value or smiles to their life. But for me at least, I'm keeping it individual. I'm not trying to talk about anyone else's content, but for me, I don't see what value I could bring by just showing people my day. Unless it's something that actually adds value. So for example, when I was showing people a day of my fitness transformation, see, people learned from the diet, people learned from the workout, people learned from my way of life and my meditation. So there was lessons within it. But just a regular day of me doing nothing and trying to create moments out of that to share with it's not really for me, and I don't think it's for my audience.
But there is an audience who consumes that as well.
I'm sure. And bless you and bless the people who are creating it. I wish you guys all the best. But for me, it's
all about value.
So the parts that it's all about my values and what I stand for. And for me, whenever I put something on our platform, if it's not entertaining, if it's not informative, then it doesn't make the cut. And anything to do with our private life and sharing will never make the cut. So yeah, I mean, it comes to a point now where Salama and I, like the team and I, will think of like funny things that have happened with Salama and I, like what's happened over the last year. Oh, there was this situation. Oh, if we write a sketch about that would be funny. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure. And then we write it. Then Salama and I film it at like 9 a.m. We finish by like 9:30, 10. She goes to work. The team and I go and edit. Then we'll edit that. Then I'll go and do my own videos.
That's just how long it takes for your videos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, now, I mean, before it used to take like 5 hours, but after doing it for a long time,
because everything seems so natural. It doesn't even seem like you're acting it out. It just seems like a part of your life.
Yeah, well, those characters, like the character that I play in our sketches and the character that Salama plays, are really extensions of who we are. They're animated extensions. Yeah. So when we
animated extensions
of who we are, it's important to say that. Yeah. Because we don't really argue like that. I wish we did.
But you wish you did.
I mean, we actually have actual arguments.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously,
and we have important conversations. But these are animated, and it's like like our sketches are adding the masala.
Yes, the masala.
On like the situation.
A lot of masala.
A lot of masala.
And but in most ways, in more ways than not, it actually shows you as the ideal husband. The husband who always listens to the wife. Of course it does.
Oh, well, I'm glad it comes across like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, for me, it's just like us thinking about the funny things that have happened to us in our relationship and say, how can we bring this forward, not just as a piece of entertainment, but like a little message in it too. Yeah. And, that's what we always try to do.
Yeah, so there is so much content about you on social media, of course. I mean, like videos that you've produced and, videos that like, your interviews. And you've spoken about this, like you said, you started out really basic. You were working on an oil tanker and then you worked in the public investments. And then you've spoken about a dark phase that you were going through. And, how it was very difficult for you. And Salama came and, brought you out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how was that?
Like, I don't think anything can hurt someone as much as feeling that you're not doing what you need to do for the people that you love.
For the people that you love.
Yeah. And I think for me, whether it was true or not, I felt I was failing in my role as, a husband and a father. Because I felt that I was doing what's possible to achieve my dreams. And I had the support of Salama. But it wasn't coming to fruition. I was writing shows. I was pitching them to TV stations, radio stations.
Yes.
And nothing. Just no after no. And I always pictured like going home with that deal. I got the show. I got the deal.
Yeah. And, just to emphasize on that, you had this amazing concept where you were, because I was watching your videos where you were talking about, you wanted to change the narrative about the Middle East that is prevalent in the West. And that is something, I mean, like if not back then when you were trying to do it, that is something everything UAE stands for today.
Yeah.
If anything, in the Middle East, I think UAE is, rewriting all the narrative
100%,
in the West. 100%, right?
That's why it's easy as a storyteller.
Yeah, and it's surprising, your pitch, your concept, this amazing concept was being constantly rejected.
I didn't, and
it didn't make sense.
I tried to be a presenter on TV.
Yes, and that too after having done a show.
After having done the CNN.
Yeah.
And didn't get a call back for that. And I was just, there's only, no matter how strong you are, man, there's only so much rejection you can take,
Yes.
And, I'm going there and just wanting to be this person that's, the hero to my kids and the husband to my wife and just, the person that's doing what he needs to do. And I was like close to giving up. Like, I was just like, man.
Yeah.
Let me just go back and do what I used to be doing.
So you had quit your job to pursue this? Oh.
And then Salama, she's incredible, man. She really is my guardian angel, Yani. She and, you've heard the story before. Yani. She's just like, you know what? You can do this alone.
Yeah. So this was after your MBA at Stanford.
Yeah, when we had come back.
You just come back stronger from your marriage as well.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And she bought me a camera, said, do it on your own.
Yeah.
Post it on social media and see what happens.
So in a way, looking back, don't you think that rejection actually, brought you forward into doing this?
Yeah.
Creating your own channel.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine what would have happened. Like none of this would have been happened if I gotten accepted.
Yes.
And if anything, I wouldn't have been able to, because with TV stations, with outlets and stuff like that, you're not free to just be who you want to be.
Yes.
You have to be who they want you to be.
Yeah. And probably just end up doing one show in one segment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as millennials, I don't think we watch TV anymore. It's all about OTT and social media. Your reach would have been, just
limited to them.
Yeah, limited to that channel. And, we probably you may be under all these contracts that you were not able to appear on social media. So it would have been, hampering.
100%. So what's funny is the show that we do is pretty much the show that we pitched to all these stations.
Yes.
And now, alhamdulillah, we have our own channel.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing. Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for it every single day. I'm grateful for Salama for pushing me, my kids for pushing me, and inspiring me to do this work. And, the audience for supporting me from the very beginning. So, they're the reason that I am where I am, and I'll never, ever, ever take that for granted.
Mm-hmm. One statement in your video, who's Khalid Al Ameri, there was this one statement you mentioned about what your professor told you. Failure is when you wake up every day doing what you don't want to do.
100%.
Yeah, and that I think resonated so much with me, and I'm pretty sure with a lot of other people, because I've spoken this on my recordings before. I had this very brief phase where I was working in a bank, and I hated my job.
Yeah.
But at the risk of sounding pompous, I had the luxury to just quit because I couldn't take it anymore, because I didn't want to have the same dread every day. But we also have to understand that it is not the same for every other person who goes through it, right?
Sure.
Because they have a household to run, they have bills to pay, they have a family to take care of. So it's when you say that you were able to take that plunge, how do you manage everything? Because it is a this precarious circle that you have to be careful about, taking care of that, plus you want to follow your passion, plus you want to keep the home running.
Yeah, a year of savings.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, a year of I mean the rule is 6 months of savings. So it's kind of 6 months, but I had like Sanama, the house, the kids, the school, the payments, the mortgage. So I thought I want to have a year if I'm going to take this risk.
Okay.
So a year of savings. And I think, anyone that's in a position where they could move on from work that they're not enjoying, you need to build a cash reserve. I think for me, what's important to remember is it's not usually money that's the hindrance, it's time. So someone who has their podcast and works a full-time job, they can only dedicate one day or one morning a week in the weekend to be able to do a podcast.
Yeah, true.
And that takes all their effort. But imagine they had 7 days every day.
Yeah.
How quick they would grow, how much they could do. So the money is really a source of buying you enough time to be able to create what you want to create. So for me, it's all about building that, like sort of like a war chest, where you can go to war and pursue your passion and pursue the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And for me, like if Allah forbid, everything failed for me at this point, then I would do the same thing again. Now, khalas, it's ingrained into my DNA.
Destin.
Go take a job for a year, 2 years, add as much value as possible, help with whatever organization, and then, have a savings to be able to go and try again.
Try again, but
Always. What other option is there?
yeah.
If you know that that's what you want to do, if you've done it and you felt alive with every bone in your body, every sense of your being, you were fully alive, then there's no choices here.
Yeah.
That's what you were born to do. So if you're not doing it, then you're preparing for it, at least in my eyes. Because then the other option is being something you're not every day of your life, and that's slowly
hurtful,
eating away. It's hurtful.
Yeah.
It eats away at your soul every single day.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning thinking, why am I doing this? And then
absolutely.
you do that for long enough, and you realize you're
It's too
65,
late. Yeah.
65, 70 years old, and think, what happened?
So I like that part where you said, you also have to create a reserve, because if you're just going to chase your dreams and, you get lost in between, you have to have that fallback option on.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You have to have a fallback. You have to have, a safety net for yourself, for your family.
Yeah.
And for me, it's also about sort of, reshaping the way that you think about like making money. So for me, like we're from when we're a young age, I feel we're programmed into a system where things happen at a certain time.
Yeah.
My
True.
days off are at the end of the week.
Yeah.
My day finishes at 5 p.m. My salary comes at the end of the month. And all these things are programmed from when you're first in school.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we grow into, right?
Which what you grow into.
Yes.
Whereas when you stop working in a company, you don't the scariest day is not the day you quit. It's actually that's one of the most liberating days.
Yeah, and
it's not the second day. It's the end of the month where you don't get that SMS that you've gotten your salary in your account.
Yes, that is when reality hits.
That is when reality hits.
Yes.
But then you start to think about your money and your savings and your wealth as something holistic rather than something that comes in increments at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And once you get through that reprogramming, you stop waiting for that text. That's when you know you're doing all right.
Yeah, I think, to get into that groove, maybe you'd give it a couple of months to understand how you're going to manage the finances.
100%.
Yeah. So, and also you've spoken about consistency. I think that is one of your biggest driving factors.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
How you've been, like when you first started out, you were churning out videos every day.
Yeah.
How do you get so much content? People are struggling for content, and you were saying you would actually record a couple of days before if you were going to travel.
Yeah. Just to have the we call it the content bank. We still have it now.
You do?
Yeah, because if we're going to be traveling, we need to ensure that we have content going up that week to cover for our travel days. So that's again reprogrammed and ingrained into my DNA. No, I think consistency is the key to anything.
Yeah.
Like my goal is to be the best storyteller I can be. For me to be the best storyteller I can be. So let's take a look at sports stars. Serena Williams, LeBron James. And think of all these other great sports stars, right? You think they just say, okay, I'll practice when I feel like it, or I'm only going to play when I'm only going to compete when I feel like it. No, man. You have to compete every day. You have to train every day. You have to do your best every day.
Yes. Even if you're playing or no.
Even if you're playing, if you're not playing, if you're tired, if you're it's not the breakthrough comes when you do it and you weren't motivated to do it that day. That's when the real breakthrough comes, as with anything that you want to do in life, I feel. So for me as a storyteller, it's easy when you're worried about, paying the bills, there's the worry there. But the hardest part is when you don't have the motivation and you do it anyway. That's when you know you've broken through. That's when you know that you're on another level. Yeah. That's when you know that
your passion is true.
Your passion is true. Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. That's when you know your passion is true. I couldn't have said it better than that, Tauhee.
Yeah. So how do you know what your audience wants? Because all of your videos, they just seem to be lapped up by your audience. How do you understand the pulse of your audience and what are you going to give them every day?
Well, I mean,
it's almost like, I think like what Steve Jobs said, that the people don't know what they want unless they get what they want.
Well,
do you work on that principle?
Well, a little bit, I guess. Yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. I mean, so when the team and I rewatch a video that we shot, if we're not laughing, then there's a very low likelihood that our audience are going to laugh. Like Sid there's in the back, Rob there's if they're not cracking up. I mean, I watch them editing the video. So I don't do as much editing now. Khalas, my hands and my back are broken from like all those endless nights of editing. So I watch them as they're editing the videos. And when they crack up in the middle of the edit, that's when I know we got a good video. So they are like not just storytellers and editors. They're sort of like my litmus test of how the audience are going to respond. So if they're responding with laughter, it's highly likely that our audience are going to laugh too. There are videos that we shot that we thought were funny, and then we didn't laugh, and we just didn't post them.
You didn't post them?
No, we didn't post them. Like, because I don't want to take that. Like, if we didn't find it funny, it's very unlikely. Or if our energy wasn't right when we were filming, then it comes through.
Yeah, it reflects in the video. It reflects
in the video. So for me, it's about listening to. So it's not about predicting what the audience wants. It's about like trying new things, new forms of content, and if the audience engage with it, then we know that we're on the right track.
Okay,
that's one. If the audience doesn't engage with it, then don't do it again. Don't keep trying to feed them, all this content thinking that it's cool and they're not responding.
Yeah.
And I think the last and most important thing is to constantly be trying new forms of content and entertainment, to constantly be changing. So the thing that I love most about our pages and the way that we approach media is, at least for the Facebook page and the YouTube page, you never know what you're going to get.
Absolutely,
like Khalid or Salama just posted something. Is it a skit? Is it a vlog? Is it an experience? Is it a travel? Is it a food video? Is it an interview with someone? You don't know.
Yeah, because I think you have covered a lot of areas.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're always free to explore and experiment.
100%. So it's good, and it's good to have that flexibility. It's good to explore. Okay, we've done a few too many comedies. Let's do something a bit more serious. Or let's do an experience. Or we've done 2 or 3 experiences. Let's do something more at home. We always think about how we can change our content up to keep the audience, number 1, entertained, informed, and 3, guessing as to what's going to come next, inshallah.
So, have there been instances where you put in a lot of effort and then the video doesn't get that kind of, reception? How does that feel?
Horrible. We have a running joke. It's the camel video.
Okay.
So our worst performing video ever to date was a video called How to Ride a Camel.
Okay, so
and
that was a video that you were planning a lot of hopes on.
I thought people would be fascinated by that, right? And
that's surprising. Being from this part of the world, nobody's interested in know how to ride a camel.
I thought it'd be fascinating, and it was just a tough Tauhee. It was so tough to film. It was on the first day of Ramadan.
Oh, and in the desert.
In the desert, in the heat.
On a camel, oh.
First thing, I prayed Fajr and then went right away.
Oh.
That's how early they had me up in Ramadan. On the first day is the tough one.
The toughest one, first time.
That's when you get the withdrawals and the headaches at 2 p.m.
Yes. Oh, at 2 p.m. Oh my God, and that one.
And this, we had been filming all morning. And I look back at the video, and the video's, the camel's great. I mean, the camel was amazing.
The camel?
The scene was the scenery was beautiful.
But
we were. It was a horrible. We didn't tell it the right way. The music wasn't right. My energy was off.
Oh, obviously, the first day of Ramadan.
I was like, so guys, today we're going to be riding a camel.
You didn't do justice to the camel, I guess.
I didn't do justice, and I'd like to apologize on your podcast to the camel for not doing justice. And I promise that we're going to revisit that video at some point to tell it in a way that will make that camel proud. But yeah, that video, until now, it's just done I don't think it's even broke. It's done 3-4 years ago. I don't think it's even broken 100,000 views. It's really, it hasn't done anything.
After all that effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really, so now we're a lot more careful. Like Sid and Rob are in the back when they're filming me. If they feel the energy is not right, they tell me, Khalid, pump it up a little bit.
Okay.
And if they feel that the video is not landing, we get together and we figure out what's going on. And if the video is just not working, then we don't exert any more energy and effort into telling a story that we don't think is going to work.
But now, now that you're so huge, but does it still matter, how many views your videos get? Do you still go into all those intricacies?
I think so. I think it's important to. Yeah, I mean, you need to judge the performance of the content that you're putting out, and I think a lot of people say don't care about the views.
Yeah, I mean,
really?
No.
I mean, no. I think,
for someone small like me, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't care. I'm interested to hear what's your perspective on that? Someone who says, Yeah, keep creating what you love. Don't care about the views.
Yeah, I think that's what, a lot of what we see a lot on social media is like, keep trying, like you said, the consistency, just because if we look at the views and if it's not hitting what we wanted to, and, after having put all that effort, then, it kind of drains you and you lose your mojo, right?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, does that still pull you back?
The viewership is, first of all, number one, we're never going to change our values.
Yeah.
That's one thing that there's a difference, because people think, if you care about viewership, then you have to change all these things up. Actually, maybe the viewership wasn't good because your thumbnail didn't reflect the story well enough.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Like, every single thing while putting out a video, right from the thumbnail.
Yeah, maybe your title didn't hit.
Click. Yeah.
Maybe your video was too long. Maybe there were parts in the edit that were unnecessary. And I think the moment you stop caring about these things, I agree. All right, you shouldn't fully care about views.
Yeah, shouldn't solely care about that. Yeah.
Like, okay, fine. So now, if we only cared about views, then let's stop doing all these videos that we do informing. Let's just make prank content. Let's just make prank content and all this content that doesn't really add much value but gets a lot of views. Like, let's add all these type of these videos that just get views. Let's only focus on that. That's all we care about.
But that's not all.
Yeah, but first of all, you have to have a value system. And then you incorporate elements that are advised by these platforms on how to engage your audience more. And I think it's important to reflect on the data. Every sport, every business reflects on the data, reflects on the performance. And I think if you're a professional creator, you need to do that to be able to improve.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to be the best storyteller that I can be. And if I need to look at the data and the performance of these videos to see that if I'm doing that, because maybe there's something I'm doing wrong. Maybe
you can
I swear
correct
to you,
it too.
it's incredible how just changing a title on a video can change the performance of a video. And it's sad that that's the world that we live in, because you'd want the story to reflect everything.
Yeah.
But sadly it doesn't, and you have to play a little bit of the game.
Yeah. It's a game that you have to play smartly.
Big time. Like, don't lose your sense of value or your sense of direction. Like, if the content that you're doing makes you happy, you have to keep doing it, because that's what you'll succeed in.
Yeah.
But learn from what other people are doing to improve the performance of their videos. And if they can do it, so can you.
Yeah. Like you were saying, Lynn, just to go back, the kind of content that you create, you have these funny videos at home. Yeah. You have a few videos like, promoting stuff, promoting values. And then you also like have connected so deeply, like, with your nannies, you go for the weddings. Yeah. Those, I think, more than like seeing a lot of other social vloggers, who go on, all these nice places, romanticize, the beautiful places that there are. You have really been able to hit across different cultures, going into their culture, going into the developing countries like India, Pakistan, the Africas. And that, there is so much reality in what you do. That's when people really love your kind of content.
I think for me, I just love learning about the way people view life. I love embedding myself like completely into a culture and a way of life to learn it. And like my goal through the videos that we do all the time is just to connect us all as human beings.
Yeah.
And that's what I love to do by going and visiting these countries, meeting with people, visiting their places of worship, wearing their traditional dresses.
Yeah.
Trying their food, meeting and sitting with people from all walks of life, and connecting us through these videos. Like, I mean, if you watch my video to Amritsar, I mean,
wow, like I haven't had so much lassi as you did.
Yeah, it was intense. But,
yes.
but like the video some of the comments that I was getting, and I still remember it to this date, is someone said, how are Muslims different from Sikhs?
Yeah.
And obviously there's big differences in our beliefs, but
the worship.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, because you kind of look the same. And the way
the turban,
the beards,
the
your places of work, like you bow down, and there was a lot of people at the Golden Temple bowing down.
Yeah.
And like I said, our beliefs, like what we believe as Muslims and Sikhs, but when you get to the core, of what we value as human beings, leave religion aside. Like even from the way we look,
Yeah.
Like they're just like, yo, you guys,
You blended in really well, wearing that turban and that kurta, right?
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. It was just to learn the culture, to learn about the people. And I say that about every country that we visited. I say that about Kenya, Uganda, Pakistan, India.
Yeah.
What I'm learning as I go through all these places is, we are so different as people, but at our core of all of us, we're all the same. Because we have different senses of fashion, we have different senses of palettes, we have different senses of, the things we do on our day-to-day life, but our core, who we are as humans. And if we just understood this, that we all want to be happy, and live lives of dignity, and be peaceful and jovial, have this sense of joviality.
Absolutely.
And that's the message that I try to share with as many people as possible.
That's a message that needs to be, reiterated on and just kept sending out.
I will never believe mainstream media when they tell me about a people or a country. Until I go and visit, because
this is exactly what you said. You wanted to change the narrative.
And we did like 500 videos. So we over the last, I think Kerala was our first video. Might have been our first big international video.
Into Kerala and having the tea at the tea stall.
No, Kerala was before Pakistan. Sorry, so Kerala was after Pakistan.
Okay.
So
but because Pakistan, I think before you, nobody had really shown that as a tourist destination.
Yes.
And that's what I was trying to say. How you romanticize or you beautify these places is something we wouldn't have seen otherwise 100%. As a social media consumer.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there going like, they have never showed this.
Yes.
I have not seen. There is one image that you will see of, say, a country like Pakistan.
Yeah.
There is one image you will see. I know Africa's made up of different countries. That are very different.
But it's generalized.
But there's generalized. And there's one image or two images that are always shown in media. You want to learn.
Same with India.
Same with India, exactly.
Yeah.
Same with pretty much every country. Arab world, Middle East.
Yes.
There's one image that you have. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to push that narrative.
Yeah.
But you go there, and I swear to you, there was a country. I'm not going to say names because I don't want to change the narrative. But there was a country that I visited where the narrative was changed the second I hit the airport. The second it's shared.
The narrative was changed for you.
From everything the media told me, the narrative was changed the minute I hit the airport.
Wow. See?
The organization, the way it looked, the way it was built. It was this beautiful airport in a country that just shares a narrative, where the media share a narrative that just does not
match
or include that. And the narrative that I saw when I was there, the story that I saw was completely different. So whatever I hear from, I'll never believe mainstream media and what they share, news and all that stuff, about what they share about another country until I visit it. Then I can because I'm not trying to get in trouble here, but I'm not saying what they're saying is true.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, what they're saying is false.
Yeah.
But maybe what you're talking about is really 0.1% of what that country represents.
Yeah.
It's a small group.
And what a shame.
And what a shame. Because you could say that about Western countries.
Yeah, but nobody does.
You could say that about...
Nobody would dare to.
No one would dare. I mean, they should. I mean, like, why is it only on us? I mean, if you look at Western countries, a lot of these Western countries like certain way of things, do these things.
And we, unfortunately, when we go to their country, that is what we, buy into. That is what we live into, right?
But the funny thing is there's a famous saying, that whenever a minority in certain countries does something, they come out and say, that's not who we are.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But with us, no, that's who we are.
Yeah.
That's all you Arabs. That's all you people. I mean,
my God,
so for me, that's why, like, being on the receiving end of it, not personally, but just as an Arab and as a Muslim, it's given me.
And that too, because just to digress a bit, you're coming from a multicultural upbringing, so
100%.
So you know both how it is, right?
I know.
I
know how it is, and that's why.
And yet you are stuck with this image.
For me, Tauhee, it's exhausting, but for me, it's like I just want to tell stories the way I see them, the way they are.
Yeah.
Like, just here it is.
Yeah. And you're doing a fabulous job at it.
Thank you. I really appreciate, and that's all that matters to me. That when I go and share the stories from a country, that I'm doing the country justice, and that the people are proud of the work that we're doing.
Yeah.
That's all that matters to me. And people will go to country, like, that's why our first video in Pakistan was in the mall. showing the buildings, was showing the
That's not what we get to see otherwise.
100%.
Yeah.
And you go, you'll expect to see what you expect to see, and it might look sexy in the videos and stuff like that, and get the clicks, but are you telling the story of people that will make them proud? And that was what's important to me all the time. So I tell the story, we edit in a way that will make the people proud and be the stories that people want to be shared and want to be celebrated, inshallah.
Inshallah. You make India also look so nice, so pretty.
Can I just clarify that statement, Tauhee?
Yes,
I don't make it look pretty. It is pretty.
It is.
Wallah, it is.
It is.
Wallah, there is. How can I edit these beautiful fields and these beautiful? How can I edit it? I can't. This is what it is. So it's it's not
how
like
spectacular it is.
Exactly, and it's not a minority. It's not that's not who we. No, this is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm showing it to you. I can't edit that. There's no green screen.
Yeah,
this is what it is. So I don't make it I don't. My aim is not to make it look pretty. My aim is to show it for what it is.
For what it is.
And in all countries, there are places that are not so nice to see, and there are places that are beautiful to see. In every country in the world.
Every country in the world, for that matter.
But why are some countries only stuck with one aspect? And that's what I want to change.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and also I think it helps for the fact that, we being based in this place, in this part of the world, this Dubai is obviously an intersection of different cultures. So it helps you explore. And also I've seen you go around here as well, exploring different cultures and different foods.
Yeah.
So it helps you so much.
I'm biased, but UAE for me is it's my home. It's where I'm from, but it's the best country in the world.
It is. It is. No matter which part of the world we go to, the moment we land in that Dubai airport, you're like, this is home. I mean, being an Indian myself, any day, if this country, I think you have to manifest it. If this country is going to give out citizenships, I'll be the first to know.
Inshallah. But I'm biased, and I get it. I've seen British tabloids and all those places. They just enjoy, coming at us for no reason. But for me, it's just...
I think, now when I travel, rather when someone asks me where I'm from, I'm from Dubai. And they're like, Dubai? Are you from Dubai? Wow. And it gives me a high, to be from Dubai.
And that's something that for me, it makes me so proud. It makes me, for you as someone from India, to travel and say that you Dubai is your home.
That speaks volumes, right?
It makes me proud. So for me, it's just... I always felt like this country is such a beautiful melting pot.
Beautiful melting pot.
And it's just a place that all these cultures can come together
and thrive
and live side by side, and to
in harmony.
And to be in a different country. It feels like whenever you go somewhere and experience a different culture, I can do that here.
Yes.
So
that's a luxury UAE has.
Alhamdulillah. And once I had done all of that, now I'm like, okay, now let me go to their country.
Yeah, the real deal.
The real deal. So I've seen little India here, little Pakistan, the Filipino community, and I just thought, okay, now let me. And the one thing we've done the Nigerian restaurant as well, and seen the Nigerian community here. So that's going to be a country that we're going to be visiting, inshallah, this year. So for me, it's just being able to go and see where this beautiful community that adds so much value to my country, where they come from. What's their story?
How do you choose the countries that you want to visit?
We don't really. We just, where do we think would be interesting for us and for our viewers?
It's good that you're trying to change, what is otherwise expected. Like I was saying, all these fancy places, all the European countries, you have completely changed that style of, relaying your stories.
Yeah, I think for me, it's, I think it's I don't know what the right word is. It's sad, that there's only some countries in the world that are, put on this spotlight as places you must visit.
Yes.
When you go to countries that we've been to and just see how beautiful they are. We've talked about all these countries. And first of all, every country. So whatever country I'm mentioning, I'm just mentioning. Every country had its beauty. But for one example, going to Kenya and that going to the Masai Mara and seeing the sunset there.
Subhanallah.
I was just looking at it, I'm like, those are the words. Sitting in the middle of a field, there's a hyena 10 meters away, and there were guards there and stuff. But seeing the sunset in the Masai Mara, you just go, Subhanallah, this beauty.
Yeah, but who talks about that?
Who talks about it?
Yeah.
But who thought? And the messages we get, like, I never considered visiting, but
Yeah.
changed. And like going as a family to Uganda,
Yeah.
and seeing it there, and like, you know, just people think like you have to go to certain cities to enjoy it, where like the real adventure comes in these places.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, we go back to the Pakistan video when we were in the mountains seeing the snow. People are like, is this a Swiss Alps?
Yes,
It,
yes.
it snows in Pakistan? Then we showed someone skiing. It's like, why
So
can't
much
you,
ignorance,
why can't you go and ski there?
Yeah.
Like, why is it only the Swiss Alps, for example?
Yeah.
As beautiful as that is too.
Yeah.
But like for me, like, it's just so critical that we realize that, you know, these spots that you strive for are literally a 2-flight away as well.
Yeah. Half the time.
Half the time. Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
So you've explored different cultures, and I must agree, and we must also agree that your popularity transcends across all ages as well. So I've told you before that our kids were going to the same school in the same grade, and last year when there was this annual event, you know, she came back so excited. Umi, Khalifa's dad is so cool.
Who's
you know,
this?
My daughter.
Oh, your daughter.
Yeah. So she came back and she was like, Umi, Khalifa's dad is so cool. He came into the video and he was talking to us and he was motivating us. You know, why is my papa not there? Like, you know, let's have papa also on the video. And I'm like, you know, Sarah, nobody wants to see Papa. You know, this is Khalid Al Ameri there.
No, maybe there are people that want to see Papa. Maybe you should try making videos.
No. So, and you know, it's become a challenge. And my husband was like, oh no, this doesn't look good on me. So, you know, you have this, you know, huge popularity among kids, different cultures. So, and you know, but I would also like to know, like, is this how you are? Always so boisterous, happy? And I'd also like to know that you are a boring husband or a strict dad.
Well, I mean, alhamdulillah, I think like even my team know that I'm always joking around. Like I'm always laughing and joking around. It's
There's so much pressure on, you know, all dads and husbands there to be the perfect guy.
Yeah, I'm far from perfect. I just try and laugh through the stress of every day, laugh through the work, you know, laugh to keep my team, you know, smiling and laughing, like joke around to make Sarama laugh.
Your team is definitely a lucky team that you have.
I'm lucky to have them. Wallah, they're incredible people who are, you know, dedicating their time and their energy for us to do better things. Mm-hmm. You know, try and make my kids as happy as possible, joke around, be the funny dad as much as possible. But at the same time, you know, I'm responsible. You know, I have to.
Of course.
You know, I have to know when to be. I don't know if the word is strict, but know when to be serious when I see because my kids are growing up now. Khalifa's 12.
Yeah.
You know, Abdullah's 9, and they're growing into incredible young men. Yeah, and inshallah. So it's important for me to you can't just joke about everything. There has to be lessons and everything, and
okay, I'm going
the things that they're
take
doing.
that part and show my daughter. Yeah, he's serious.
But yeah, no, I have to be. I mean, you know, I think it's a mistake to just, you know, take a video at face value. I'm a funny, like that's my character.
Yeah, animated exaggeration.
Like animated exaggeration of reality, right? I mean, but you know, I mean, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and with that comes responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I admit that 99% of the time we're joking and laughing.
MashaAllah.
But, alhamdulillah. But that 1% of the time requires me to be a responsible, serious adult when it comes to teaching my kids lessons that are hopefully going to help them, you know, navigate as they grow into adults. To be there as a husband emotionally for my wife, for her to be emotionally there for me when I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
So you know, you can tell your daughter that you know that our aim is always to have people happy and engaging and smiling and entertained by the work that we do. But you know, as all human beings, we go through hardships very regularly. We go through challenges very regularly. We just choose to laugh as we go through them, and maybe stop laughing when things get a bit important that we need to focus as much as possible.
So your popularity is across, like we were saying, across all cultures, across, like, you know, transcending all ages. So how do you, like, when you step out, you know, for a quiet dinner or something, like just for a quick time out with your family, do you have, you know, all your fans, you know, flocking to you for a selfie, for some time with you? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. You know, I mean...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you get irritated? Do you get annoyed?
No, never.
No.
Never. I have a rule whenever we're filming with any client, whenever we're at an event. that whoever wants to talk, get a picture, whatever it is, they have my full attention and all my time.
Wow.
And again, because their love and support is the reason we get to do what we do. And I think the best example I can give you is from Kerala. We did a meet and greet there.
Okay.
And I can't remember the number. I think and alhamdulillah, we had the auditorium there in the hotel.
Just look at your reach, like in Kerala, people.
Alhamdulillah, was
I saw
the biggest
those videos.
honor. I think there was about
thronging.
I don't know if it was around 500 people that were there.
Wow.
And it was supposed to be a half an hour or 45 minutes, I think it was. And we were there for around 4.5 hours. So we finished our talk, and then we stayed to talk to every single person that wanted to speak to us or wanted to connect with us. And we were the last to leave.
Yeah.
And for me...
So probably you didn't pull that off again.
I'll do it every single time, Tauhee.
Yeah.
That you don't understand, like the appreciation that I have for everyone that helps us do this work is endless. And whoever wants to talk to me, to meet with me, to speak to me about anything, I'm here.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, but it's worth it.
It's worth it, and you love it.
I love every single second of it. So whenever someone, I'm still like have that kind of imposter syndrome. Like when someone says, "Can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "You want a picture with me?"
Oh.
Like I'm just a video guy, I just and
but that video guy is everything in UAE now.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, I don't know. It's really humbling to me, and I'll be forever grateful, wallah.
Yeah.
And
there was this one interviewer who asked this to Shah Rukh Khan. Like, I'm assuming you know him.
Yeah, I know Shah Rukh Khan.
So there was this one interviewer, they asked Shah Rukh Khan, like, how do you feel when, people come to you? Do you want your privacy? Do you want your quiet time? And he's like, this is what I'm working for. I don't want to go to the Juhu beach and be eating pani puri because I've built this and I love my audience.
Yeah.
And I think that one statement clicked so much with his fan following. That's everything. And I also saw him once here and I wasn't sure if I could get a picture with him. It was at the Palm. And he just swooped me in and he just hugged me. And I was like, man, this. And that too, when he was at his peak, he just hugged me and he kissed me. And I'm like, that was Shah Rukh Khan, and my husband was like, wow.
I think for me, I think the minute
that is the humbleness you grew up with, right? You have it ingrained because you said, like you were saying, that you started from the basics, and you value each and every follower you have.
100%. And I think the minute someone loses that, that's when the decline is very close. And you have to realize that these are the people that love you, that appreciate you, that want you to succeed.
Absolutely.
You have to, like as you said, as your experience, you have to hug them, love them, show them, reciprocate that.
Yeah, and that is who you are. That is who we see, and that is expectation we come to you with, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Always. I love the people that have supported us and that have helped us, and we wouldn't be here without them.
Absolutely, and I love the way you responded to my story, and here we are today.
Alhamdulillah.
Really?
Yeah,
yes.
Like, yeah, let's do it.
Yes, yeah, and that obviously, now I have a completely different impression, and that's why we all love you, and I'm going to make sure every person I'm like following and I'm talking to loves you more.
Inshallah, thank you so much, man. It means the world.
So you have so much success at such a young age. Okay, so what is next for Khalid Al Ameri?
I don't know.
Is there anything out there new that you are waiting to explore?
Tauhee, I've lived so much of my life. Everyone asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yes.
It was like every job interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, man, I don't even know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. You want to know where I'm going to be in 5 years? Like, it was exhausting. Like, you're always thinking about the future. You're always thinking about, okay, where am I going to be next year? Okay, where do I want to be in 2 years? Where do I want to be now?
Yeah.
I'm where I want to be now. And alhamdulillah. And that's it for now.
Yeah.
I'm just happy being in the moment.
Yeah. I think that is something we all have to cultivate, right? To be happy with what you have, at least in the present moment, always not, worrying and being concerned about the future.
Yeah.
I think in the interim, you end up not enjoying what you have now.
You enjoy nothing. Why? Because what do you say? In 5 years, I want to be a manager here. I want to be this. So then that means that's what you consider success. So I'm going to be fully gratified when I reach here.
But no.
What about today?
Whatever.
I woke up this morning, alhamdulillah, 5 a.m. Had a great coffee from this great coffee machine that we bought for my birthday.
Thankful for the little blessings.
Yeah, sat down, watched a bit of the Australian Open tennis with my coffee, prayed Fajr, Salama, and the kids were there. They woke up for school, kissed them, watched them eat, alhamdulillah, went to school, went to the gym, came back, we edited the video. I'm here doing this great podcast with you. After this, we're gonna, what are we doing after this? We filming? I don't know, but the team know. And it'll be a great day.
Yeah.
And
living in the moment.
Living in the moment. And for now, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have goals, but they're not set to a certain time. They're just set to what we hope to achieve, inshallah. Like, we want to make better videos. We want to make, like, our goal is to do documentaries, series.
Movies?
Maybe, inshallah. I'd love to do a movie sometime. So, Bollywood, yeah. I'd love to do Bollywood.
Oh, okay.
I would love to do Bollywood. People say, hey, Khalid, when are you going to hit Hollywood? I'm like, nah.
Bollywood, all the masalas.
Bollywood, yeah. Man. I will do Bollywood in a heartbeat.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this message should go out, definitely.
Yeah, I'm done. Any Hollywood, any Bollywood directors, producers out there, hit me up. I'm good to go,
Yeah, and with the new sculpted body, I'm ready to take on that hero.
So Shah Rukh Khan, you better watch out, bro. I'm coming. I'm just joking, but yeah, I definitely want to do bigger things, but I'm not setting it to a time. I'm not thinking, okay, what's next? Because one thing I realized, and especially when it comes to the social media following, I always thought when you hit your first million, then that's gonna be. But I swear to you, right after you hit 1 million, you're thinking what?
No.
2 million.
Yeah.
Then I'll be good.
Yeah.
Then I'll be enough. And then when you get 2 million, you think 3 million sounds good. Yeah. Then when you get to 8, 9, you're like, I want double digits now.
Yeah. It never ends. Yeah.
It's never ending. So what I've learned and the team have learned is let's just do work that, number one, makes our audience happy and makes us happy. And if we do that
and devour the moment you are
and enjoy the moment, then we're on the right path. Do we have stress? Do we have challenges? Absolutely. But I just, for now, just for a little part of my life, I want to be present in the moment and not worry about where I see myself in a year or two from now.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. That's, I think, a message that needs to go out for people to actually start doing that, right? Enjoy what they have. Just relax, just take it slow.
I get it. It's not a lifestyle. That's, again, when I say these things, this is me. Yeah. This is Khalid. This is how Khalid chooses. Yeah. I'm not just because I do it this way doesn't mean it's right for everyone. For me, there are industries, there are jobs, there are things where you have to think about these things. Otherwise, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
But for me, just for a little part, I've worked, hard. Salama's worked hard, and we've got to a position where we think we can just take a little time to enjoy it. Yeah, inshallah.
So how is being successful? Has it changed the dynamics in your life?
No.
Still the same people?
Yeah.
Nothing fanciful?
No, less maybe. I had all the fancy stuff when I had a job. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of, at least.
Now I think you're internalizing it. You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your health. One would think, just you have, lost like 25 kgs in past 6 months. And you're still, when we look at you, when you watch your videos, you're still as rigorous at it as you would have started.
Yeah. My meal is here. I was training at 6 a.m.
No coffee.
Well, that's when people fall off, right?
Yeah.
It's when you get that success, when you get that shape that you want, then people think, okay, I'm good now.
Yeah.
It's a constant journey every single day. And in terms of my lifestyle, since before, I had the fancy stuff when I had the job. So when I had a government job, I had a Range Rover. Now I am who I am today. I don't even have a car.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have a car. Salama has a car, and we have a car for the kids to drive the kids around. But I, Khalid, don't have a car. I sold my car. So I take Salama's car in the morning if she's still sleeping.
Salama, are you free? Can I get your car?
Yeah, no. I try and get home before she wakes up sometimes. And sometimes the car that takes the kids to the school, and that's the family car.
I think, you have to put this message out more often, because people are so, they are so enticed with all the what do I say, all the glamorous life that you see, some reality out there,
Nothing has changed. I wake up in the morning, I do what I need to do. I sit, watch Netflix, and try and read as much as possible, and then I go to sleep.
So no more nothing materialistic.
I'm nothing.
Wow.
I'm nothing. I mean, alhamdulillah.
Everything is so materialistic on social media, and here you are saying, I don't have a car.
I mean, are there nice cars that I like? Yeah. I'd like to maybe have a car one day.
Can I get them? Of course I can, but I choose not to.
When I can afford it, maybe.
Come on.
No, I'm serious. Okay, I can get a car. I'm not saying I can't get a car, but I want to get something that suits me, that's nice for me.
I'll wait it out till I get.
I'll wait it out. I'm in no rush. We don't have anything fancy in our home.
I think people would just love you more.
But it's
everything is so plain and real.
You know what rich is to me?
Happiness.
Yeah, man. Rich is freedom, man. Rich is the freedom to wake up and do what you want to do that day.
Wow.
And you realize that if you just make a few decisions with how you spend your money, you can get there a lot quicker. For me, rich is not having a nice car. Rich is not having a big home or a fancy home and fancy things. For me, true wealth is waking up and doing what you want to do in this world, and not being told what to do, and not being told how to do your job, and not being forced to go into somewhere that just eats away at your soul. For me, that is the true meaning of wealth. And fine, okay, how great is it to have a Lamborghini when you're driving feeling sad the whole time? What's the point? Yeah. No amount of material, and I know this is cliche, but nothing is going to fill that hole if you're not happy with the way that you're living your life. Because I did that.
Yeah.
I worked in a job where I was getting money. And with that money, and it was a job that I did not enjoy. I appreciate the job. I learned a lot. I grew a lot. But it wasn't who Khalid Al Ameri was. And I had this empty hole. Every morning I woke up and I filled it with a Range Rover. I filled it with watches. I filled it with fancy shoes. I filled it with unnecessary trips. I filled it and I filled it and I filled it and I filled it. And nothing can fill that hole. Because it's just...
It's a pit. It's a deep pit.
It's a deep pit that will never be filled. And the minute that you decide that freedom to me is the true wealth, you realize that you can, with all the things that you've saved from not spending money on those necessary, you've bought yourself 3 years of freedom to be able to pursue something that you love. And you think, because it's crazy. Once you start spending all that money, you realize that you need to work that job to spend the things that are not bringing you happiness, but you think they are. And it's just this stupid
vicious
circle,
yeah.
This unnecessary loop. But once you take all of that out, you're free.
Yeah.
So for me, freedom is wealth. Okay, I might not have all these fancy things, but I don't have anyone telling me what to do in the morning.
And this is coming from someone who's had it all and has chosen not to. I think that is what makes a difference. And also, I heard this quote somewhere that all your problems are of abundance and not scarcity.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, with everything, right?
With everything, yeah.
Not just work, but even like my relationship with food now.
Yeah. Look at that.
The problem doesn't come from food; it comes from an abundance of food. You know, I've never.
And you're surviving on the scarce,
on scarce. I mean, look at Ramadan. Alhamdulillah. You realize.
That's a level. That's a leveler.
Yeah, so you get discipline. You understand that your body doesn't need a stack of 12 pancakes at 10 in the morning. You're going to be just fine without them. Yeah.
Without them.
I used to eat whatever I wanted whenever I wanted.
Yeah. And
it just weighed me down and not in a literal sense, but in a mental sense. So for me, it's just always important to realize that you don't need that much to be happy. When I made the decisions to focus purely on being free, I imagine I wake up and I can say, I'm gonna make a video on this, I'm gonna tell it like this, and I'm gonna publish it now, and no one can say, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, it's liberating.
And then I can go pick up my kids every day from school, bring them home, enjoy the rest of the day with them. And I get it. It's and I worked. And Sarama worked and our family worked tirelessly to be able to create this today. Because before I didn't have freedom, I had to create a video every single day. Like Salam wanted to divorce me like 2-3 times, but she knew that I had to make these videos to achieve what I was hoping to achieve.
Yeah.
But now that I'm there, I realized that it's that freedom, and that if I start spending money on unnecessary stuff, then I'm going back to where I started.
Yeah. But you have found your happiness in this, and I think, yeah, exactly. That is all that matters, right?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So now it's time to amp up the fun quotient a little more.
Oh, wow. Let's
Okay.
go.
So this is my quick take segment, quick and quirky, of course. So you're a celebrity today. Who is another celebrity that you enjoy watching the most?
Steve Carell.
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah. All the fun videos.
Or Mr. Bean. Yeah.
But it's ironic, right? How Mr. Bean, seems as Mr. Bean versus how he is.
Yeah,
I mean, how he's able to play those roles.
I think he's a genius.
Yes,
he's
absolute genius.
He's
Yeah,
incredible. Rowan Atkins. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I take inspiration from him because his form of entertainment transcended all cultures.
Yeah.
Languages.
No language. And yes.
Yeah, because it's silent.
Yeah.
So I try and do the same.
Yeah.
So I try, at least with our skits and stuff.
Yeah.
It's more about what's being shown than what's being said sometimes.
Yeah.
And we try and make it that it transcends.
I think to go back on that also, I think one of your highlights, one of your USP is that you cater to a global audience, even though you're from here.
Yeah.
And obviously, it helps that you're in the Middle East. You're in UAE, of course, for that matter, right? Because your videos are in English and you can cater to a global audience. So 100%. I think, yeah.
So yeah, that's important. Like I take that. So my heroes are like, Rowan Atkins, Steve Carell, Jim Carrey.
Oh, all the fun ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, comedian.
One personality trait you have no time for.
Negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a personality trait?
If you say so.
Being pessimism.
Pessimistic, yeah,
I
pessimistic.
think pessimism is the word.
Yeah, it drains.
I have no time for that.
Yeah, it drains out your energy as well.
Do you know how hard it is to be pessimistic? Like it actually requires more energy than being optimistic.
Yeah, and also they make sure to suck it out of the other positive person they're across.
Like when I smile at you now, so you just smiled.
Yes, infectious.
Do you know how hard? But any human smiles at you. Do you know how hard it is for you to not smile and go like that?
True. Yeah,
you have to process. Like
yeah.
I'm not going to smile now, so you have to process that, and I'm going to frown, which takes more muscles than smiling, right?
Yeah, true.
So you require more effort. So I have no time. If you're pessimistic, man, I have no time for that. And I have no time to be pessimistic myself.
Okay. So if you came with a warning label, what would it say?
Hard work. Like
that's a warning label?
I don't know, stay clear. Hard work or work hard or stay clear.
Work hard or stay clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be a warning because as much as I love to have fun and everything that we do, but we work so hard. Like Salama, like on her brand, on Peaceful, on our videos, she works so hard. Our team, everyone here.
She is an all-rounder.
Alhamdulillah, they work so hard. I mean, Sid's back there, editing. Rob's like reviewing stories. Varsha's getting ready for our next meeting. We all love what we do. We're all having fun, but at the same time, we work hard. And if you don't enjoy hard work, I'd suggest that you stay clear.
Okay. So you're across a lot of social media apps, okay? So one app you hate but use a lot.
Social media, one app I hate but use a lot?
Oh.
I can't say this, man. I'm gonna get. One app I hate but use a lot.
Are you asking
No, say it, Sid. Just say it.
You don't use Twitter.
Oh yeah, I don't use Twitter, but I don't use Twitter too much.
That's a very politically right answer. I don't use Twitter.
I don't use Twitter.
Yeah.
I think I think they've done great as a platform to build. I think they give the opportunity for a lot of people to speak, but I don't use it a lot because I think I don't know.
You have no message to convey.
I don't think. It's just. I don't know. Yeah, Twitter. I don't know. You might need to cut that out. But yeah, I just feel like I don't use Twitter that much from all the social. I don't have a Twitter account.
Yeah, safe side.
Yeah. But it's the reason that you say it like that. Like, why is it the safe side? And it's just I feel like Twitter is great for a lot of things, but I think they could do a better job at protecting people on the platform. I think it's a big place that a lot of good things get shared, but I think a lot of hate and negativity gets spread on the platform, and I don't think enough is done to stop that.
Yeah. So just to digress on that, like, how do you deal with negativity when you get these negative comments?
Well, alhamdulillah.
Because you're across all these platforms where you're open to all these criticism and all these reviews.
Well, alhamdulillah, I don't think we make content or share stories that ignite negativity.
Yeah. No, but then...
but I mean, there are people... But then...
haters will always hate.
Haters gonna hate, right? I mean, but like, for me, it's just... I mean, alhamdulillah, we have a great audience that we've built that engage with the work that we do. And
love the work that you do.
Alhamdulillah. And we don't share stuff that's triggering or negative and stuff. So I don't think it's something that would ignite hatred. So anyone that hates is really... Like, for me, it's a couple of ways. You know, number one, you know, reach out. So
you do?
Yeah, I did a couple of times. I mean, I don't that often, but the times that I have, it's pretty interesting. You know, there was this one person that was, you know, sending me messages like hatred and shared a couple of things. I'm like, you know, what you're like sharing is false. You know, it's everything okay? And you realize that you know, because someone needs to take time out of their day. And must be going through something, and no, but someone who's like to hate on you, like say you did a podcast or something, someone hated on like a podcast about, you know, being happy in life, and someone's like, shut up, idiot. Like sometimes it's nice to reach out, you know, like and say like, are you okay? Like something must be
for a message like this.
For a message like, where does that hatred come from? Like you don't know me. Like why would you say that? And you open up a conversation that's pretty interesting. But 90% of the time, like, because I would rather, for me as Khalid and as our team, we would rather focus on the people that support us rather than the people that are negative towards us. And the people that are negative are very minority, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. So, and like you said, you like optimistic people around
100%.
you. Yeah. So one thing you can live without.
One thing I can live without? I guess my computer.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay, because you have your team editing, so you wouldn't need your computer.
I was thinking it more from I can pretty much do everything I need on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's some great editing apps and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, something I can live without.
You know, this is a trick question where we know we're so materialistic. You know.
Okay. Something I can live without. I mean, I think I've answered that. A car.
Oh, okay. No, but
there's Uber and
you have a car.
But yeah, I think I could. I think I could live without my computer. I think I could.
Yeah, you could do it with your phone.
Just have my phone.
Yeah. A quality Salama wishes you give up forever.
A quality Salama wishes I would give up forever. I don't know. I think she loves me holistically right now. I don't know. I think
she likes Khalid 100%.
I don't think I do anything that annoys her anymore.
So that means you would have given up on something.
Yeah, I think the 15 years together, we've learned a lot about each other. So I don't really annoy her that much right now, or I don't do anything that annoys her. Like we kind of like have found this rhythm.
Okay.
I think
you found a middle ground to work on.
I think for me, like I get like. To be more relaxed when it comes to time management sometimes. I think she'd wish that I'd stop being so picky about my time, because I'm very like, if we need to leave at 6, 6:05, I'm like, Salama, come on, we're gonna be late and stuff. And there's no one waiting. It's just us. Like I said, we'd be there at 6.
Okay.
There's no one waiting for us. There's nothing happening.
So I think there's a video on this as well. When you were waiting for her, she takes a makeup brush and starts. And another exaggerated animation.
Exaggerated animation. So I think she's like, to relax a bit when it comes to time. And I can get stressed out sometimes when it comes to things that don't need to be stressed about. So I think she'd tell me to chill out sometimes.
Okay. What is one tip for a perfect marriage? Since you've just said that 15 years, you found the beautiful rhythm. So that's one tip?
No perfect marriage. A good marriage. A happy marriage.
Okay. A happy marriage.
Because I don't
What is that one tip that you exercised in these 15 years?
Laughter. 100%. I think being able to laugh together as a wife and as a husband, as partners. Yeah. I think if you can laugh together, like really, and I'm not talking about that was really funny. No, I'm talking about like
genuine laughter, from inside.
Like a stomach laugh.
Yeah.
Like a laugh that hurts the abs a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's the key to a happy marriage, because when you get married, there's the honeymoon phase, and then there's different phases. But
then there's the reality phase.
Then there's reality. Oh, it's also, this is what you're really like.
Yeah, exactly. The honeymoon phase doesn't count.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase doesn't count. And I think they say the honeymoon phase is like 6 months or something like that. And for me, I think like you have to have like a relationship with a partner where you can be, happy with each other and laugh together. Because I watched I think it was a BBC show of this elderly couple. And I think they were like in their 80s or 90s or something like that. And I swear to you, that entire interview, all they were doing was teasing each other. That's all they were doing. Like they were talking about how they met, and you didn't stop, you keep your mouth shut, they're just teasing each other like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's basically Sarama and I now. We just tease each other and make fun of each other and laugh together about things all the time. And we're serious when it comes to matters of the kids and the house and stuff. But 99% of our time we're just laughing. So I think for me, being able to laugh and joke together is the key to a happy marriage.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Does Salama get jealous when you get DMs from pretty women? Does she know?
Did we agree to these questions? No, she doesn't.
She doesn't? Oh, then you definitely have a perfect marriage.
I don't think it's. Like I said, I don't think she gets jealous. I think.
Would you?
No, she's my soulmate. I have nothing to be jealous of. She's, if we're doing something wrong in our marriage, if someone reaching out to me gets jealous, there's something wrong in your marriage if, or I feel there might be something to work on in your marriage if some random person reaching out to you is enough to trigger jealousy.
Yeah.
I think if you respond, then that's a different.
Okay, maybe I should have rephrased that.
But I think no, I don't think she gets jealous, and I reciprocate. I wouldn't get jealous of her if a handsome gentleman reached out to her, because,
I think the the answer to my question is in the reply.
Yeah, depends on whether you've responded or not. No, she doesn't.
Yeah. So, what is one crazy fan story that you've had?
Crazy fan story? What do you mean by crazy?
Like something that caught you off guard, that was something unexpected with a fan.
But I'm gonna take your crazy in a positive way.
Okay.
As a positive experience that I've had, and I think for me it was the meet and greet in Kerala.
Okay.
Because it was our first. And the audience, the hotel had given us this auditorium. Because when I said let's have a meet and greet, I thought maybe 5 people.
Are you kidding? Yeah. Oh, come on.
But this was years. It was our first, right? And with a meet and greet, you're always worried that no one's going to show up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you never know, right? Yeah.
Well, actually, no. You're not worried if no one shows up. If no one shows up, that's good. But if 2 people show up, then it's bad.
Then it's bad, yeah.
Because they know that no one else showed up.
Yes, and that's going to be worse.
If it was just one person, you can kind of just make it personal. But if it's 2, then they know that, oh my God,
nobody else showed up. That's going to look so bad.
So for me, they had this auditorium that was huge. And we got there on the dot, and there were I think there were seats for a good few hundred. Yani. I can't remember the number exactly, so I don't want to say it. I think it was around 400 or 500.
Wow.
And when we sat there, there were 4 or 5 people sitting in the front. And we were like, all right. So Saram and I just pulled up chairs and started talking to them. But I was so worried.
Okay, so the auditorium wasn't full yet?
No.
Okay, just 4 or 5 people sitting in front.
Then all of a sudden, people started coming in.
Oh, okay.
And for me, that was the most incredible experience of my life, to just see these people who had come from all different parts to engage with us, to talk to us.
I remember actually replying to that story of yours. I wish I was in Kerala to, do this. Because I don't think you have done a meet and greet here anywhere in UAE.
No, it was our first.
Yeah.
And it was the craziest experience of my life, just to be able to meet people, see people come and engage with us and talk and meet with them and connect with them. And it was the most beautiful experience of my life.
This is one of my favorite questions. Would you rather undo or copy paste in real life?
For me at this point, I wouldn't want to undo anything, because it's made me who I am today.
Yeah, it's built Khalid Al Ameri.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And I don't know if I want to copy paste anyone because I'm proud of the journey that we've taken. So neither.
Okay. And lastly, what would your advice be to the next Khalid and Salama?
Just have fun. Don't make it everything. Make it a part of your life, but not everything.
I think that's important.
Yeah, I think...
I like how you said, you don't bring your day-to-day life. You have your own life. Yeah. I think that's important.
Separate it, man. Don't connect it. Don't make every interaction together about making content. Don't make it like that, man. It's exhausting. It's unnecessary. And just be happy with what you're doing together and ensuring that you're separating what's work and what's life. Because when those two things merge and you're not able to see the line between work and life, that's when you realize you're in trouble. And that's when I realized I was in trouble when I was doing my daily videos. The reason was I didn't know what was life and what was work because everything was about work. So I couldn't enjoy the moment. I would be in a beautiful moment or in a beautiful place, and instead of watching it and digesting it, I was like, I can make a video about this.
Yes.
Everything was about content.
But that was when, you had just started out and probably you were talking about consistency.
Yeah, but I did it for, I think I did it for a lot longer than necessary. So maybe actually I will go back to your, but again, if I was to go back to your undo, I would probably undo a lot of that.
Yeah.
But again, it built what we could do. But if I could go back, I would probably undo
working so hard.
Not working hard, but working more smart. And maybe not doing the daily videos. Maybe taking some time to rest and focus on the family and focus on my relationship because our relationship took a hit. But yeah, I would probably go back and just say maybe 3 videos a week would be enough. Because even when you tell people I do 3 videos, they're like, what?
Yeah. That's what I was asking, how do you stay so consistent to do videos every day? Yeah, that is something commendable, right?
So for me, it's separate the work and life. And, then it'll be easy for you to find a consistent workflow that allows you to grow at your work and focus on your relationship and where you're needed.
Yeah. And I think that sends out a beautiful message because you are, almost confessing that, you had those troubles while
100%.
Yeah.
It was awful. Salama said, Khalid, you need to stop.
Yeah.
Enough.
And Salama, who gave you the camera to go and do this, had to
created the monster. So
she unleashed the monster.
She unleashed the monster.
Yeah.
But,
she had to come back and say, take a break now.
Yeah.
I gave you the camera, now keep it back.
And we did. Alhamdulillah. So now we create content as work when it's fun. We try and schedule it so it's fixed.
Yeah.
And we can get on with the rest of our day.
And you enjoy your life.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, you're able to be more thankful because for what you've been through,
Alhamdulillah.
Appreciate what you have today.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Khalid, for your time today.
It's an honor to be here.
I love talking to you. It was just
Likewise.
as I envisioned it to be. And, I think more power to you as a sincere fan. I wish you so much success. And, in everything that you do. Thank you so much for being so awesome and effortlessly awesome at that.
Thank you so much. And wishing you all the same and more with the podcast. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Keep engaging. Keep the content going. When things aren't working out, learn from it. Grow from it. And I wish you all the success. And
Ameen.
I just ask you something that when you're this huge podcast, just, bring me back as well. Don't forget about me,
kidding?
please.
Absolutely.
Bless you.
Yeah. Much love.
And God bless.
And God bless. Thank you.
Thank you so much.